In the city of Ibadan, where the streets are always with the sound of hawkers marketing their business, buses on, and people go out for their daily activities, there was a small hair salon where people talk about in one of the more quiet lane of the city. It was not the biggest salon with expensive decor, nor was not the busiest one, but it had a reputation that made it stand out. The salon where no one was allowed to look into the mirror while their hair was being done. The owner, Bukola, was a woman known not only for her skills with hair, but for her fierce stance on the rules she had imposed. Her salon was a shop for women who came seeking more than just a new hairstyle. It was a place where beauty was redefined. Bukola's journey into the world of hairdressing was born out of necessity. Born into a family that valued academics above all, she had been expected to follow a path of higher education, to become a doctor or lawyer, to rise above the limits placed on women. But Bukola's heart was elsewhere. She had always been fascinated by the art of hair, the way woman's beauty could be transformed through simple stroke of a comb, the meticulous care it took to craft the perfect style. Despite her family's objection, she enrolled in a hairdressing school and soon gained a reputation for her talent. But as she started working in other salons, she noticed something unsettling. Women would come into the salon, sit in the chair, and look into the mirror in front of them, only to be dissatisfied with what they saw. They would criticize their hair, their face, their bodies, even though they were still in the process of being styled. It was if the reflection in the mirror had the power to strip them of their confidence, to make them feel unworthy of the beauty that was slowly being worked into them. It was during one particular challenging day in another salon when woman broke down in tears after glancing at herself in the mirror midway through her hair appointment. Bukola decided enough was enough. She understood the pressure of society beauty standards, the obsession with perfection, and the constant comparison to an idea that I did not even exist. She knew that if she wanted to make her clients feel truly beautiful, she would have to help them see their worth beyond what a mirror reflected. And so, Bukola made a bold decision. No, no mirror would be allowed in her salon. She placed a sign at the entrance. No mirror allowed, only confidence within. It was a radical step and many of her peers laughed at her. How will clients see the finished look? They asked. How can you work without letting them know what you are doing? But Bukola was resolute. She believed that beauty was not about reflection, it was about feeling it deep inside, about embracing the process of becoming, not just the end result. Her rule was simple: no mirrors during the hairstyling process. Only after the hair was done would the client see the finished product, and by then they would have seen the beauty that came from within, not just the surface. At first, many women were skeptical. How could they trust Bukola with their hair without seeing the progress? But as word spread, the women who had once been trapped in the circle of constant self-criticism began to flock to her salon. Some were curious, some were desperate for change, and others were just tired of the mirrors in their own lives. One of our first clients was Sade, a woman in her early 30s who had always felt invisible. She had spent most of her life comparing herself to others, feeling like she could never quite measure up to women she saw on Instagram or magazine. her hair had always been her biggest insecurity. She had been she had been to countless salons only to live with the same feeling of disappointment. When Sade entered Bukola's salon for the first time, she was nervous. She had heard about the no mirror rule, but she did not fully understand why it was necessary. "What if I don't like it?" she asked, glancing around the shop with uncertainty. Bukola smiled warmly. "You don't need to worry about that. Just trust the process. No mirrors, no judgment, just you, me, and your hair." As the hour went by, Sade found herself relaxing in the chair, entranced by Bukola's calm demeanor and steady hand. Bukola's care was evident in every stroke, every section of her hair she expertly styled. Sade began to let go of her anxiety, trusting Bukola and herself. Finally, when Bukola finished, she turned the chair around and asked, "Are you ready to see yourself?" Sade hesitated, her heart pounding, but as soon as she saw her reflection, her breath caught in her throat. Her hair had been transformed into a beautiful, voluminous style that framed her face perfectly. For the first time in her life, she saw herself as beautiful, not because a mirror, but because of how she felt in that moment. Her confidence was not defined by the mirror judgment, it came from within. Over time, more women came to Bukola Salon seeking the same experience. Some were mothers who had forgotten what it felt like to feel beautiful after years of caring for their families. Others were young women trying to break free from the chain of comparison, and some were older women who had spent their lives hiding behind the mirror, afraid of what they might see. Each one left her salon not just with a new hairstyle, but with a newfound sense of self-worth. Bukola had created a space where beauty was not about meeting a standard. It was about embracing one's true self. But not everyone understood. There were those who still mocked her, claiming she was going against the very essence of the beauty industry. How can you style someone here without letting them see it? They scoffed. How do you know they will like it? Bukola simply smiled. It is not about liking it in the mirror. It's about feeling it in your soul. One day, a woman named Funke came into the salon. She was an older woman in her 50s with grey hair that she had long hiding beneath scarves. She had never felt beautiful, always thinking that beauty was something that belongs to the younger, smoother skinned women. But something in Bukola's philosophy caught her attention. She sat in the chair, resigned yet hopeful. As Bukola walked, Funke began to speak of her life, how she had spent years feeling invisible, how she had always been defined by the mirror. But Bukola's word and the calming environment of the salon seemed to free her from those chains. When Bukola was done, she turned Funke around and the woman gasped. Her grey hair had been transformed into soft, elegant waves, her face glowing with a radiance she had never felt before. "I look, I look beautiful," Funke whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "You always have been You always have been," Bukola said, smiling. "You just needed to see it in yourself, not the mirror." From that day, Funke became one of Bukola's best supporters, sharing her story with other women, urging them to embrace their true beauty. Bukola's salon continued to grow in popularity. People came from all over Ibadan, eager to experience something different, something that allowed them to reconnect with their inner self. And why our no mirror rule was unconventional, It became a symbol of empowerment. The woman who left Bukola's salon were not just living with new hairstyle, they were living with confidence, self-love, and the understanding that beauty starts from within. In a city where the noise of the outside world often drowned out their voices, Bukola had created a space where women could sing for who they truly were, not just in the reflection of a mirror, but in the light that shone from their hearts. And so, the woman who banned the mirror became a symbol of change, a reminder that true beauty is not something you see, but something you feel deep inside. This is the end of the story. Thank you.